native.
Yo, welcome back to Simple Terms. All right, look, I'm going to work. We're about to make this intro the shortest intro of Simple Terms history. All right, listen, we're gonna talk about entries. So a lot of times we want to figure out when's the best time to enter in a trade, right? And we're going to talk about how we can use things like moving averages and support and resistance, right? We've learned these things. If you don't know what those things are, go check out my other videos, right? To tell us when the best entry is, all right? So it's gonna be one of those videos. You're not gonna see my face. We're just gonna get into it. Magic. So look, you're gonna get you a nice little chart. First thing you want to do is set your support and resistance. All right, I'm gonna set both major levels and intermediate levels of support and resistance, right? So you see right here, we see price come and meet this point twice and bounce off the support, and then we come up here, we see the highest point on the chart so far, so we gotta mark that as support, right? Then we come down here, we don't quite this is a low-key iffy point. You can come down and mark it right here because you see it come up twice and go in the opposite direction, but it's just not exactly on the wick. So that's really preference if you want. And then you see that those are intermediate levels now. So intermediate levels right here, we see price come in the middle a couple times. And as you do this, you can start to see how price really just bounces between levels constantly, right? Look at that. You want to try to find where the most wick touches the most, right? So now once you've done that, you can turn on your 3 smooth moving averages, and the settings for that is going to be the red is the 100, blue is the 50, and green is the 21. All right, you got your moving averages. So moving averages are another way of support and resistance, and it's like now we want to use support and resistance to confirm our entries, right? So one thing I learned is always look at market structure. Don't look at the little candlesticks, bro. You can always see what market is doing, and every time, let's be honest, market is always going to come back. Like market always has to come back, all right? So right here we can see how market comes down to this last point, this last support, and then comes up, right? We see it happen twice. We see it wants to come up, but then it hits the other support level, and then it comes down, but then it touches it again, and then it goes up, right? And we can use this as confirmation for an entry by looking at our moving averages, right? Once we see that it doesn't reject off that blue moving average, we can see now that it's ready to push up, and we see it happen right there. And then we see it come touch this resistance, come back down and retest that previous resistance, make it a support, and then go up and then come back down. And then once it comes back down, we can see it start to retest that resistance level before it finally makes its move down, right? And one thing with this is anytime you see the lines cross all 3 together like this, be looking for that move down, and vice versa for when it wants to go up. Whenever you see a cross like that, be looking for an up or down move, right? And so now we can see that it's truly going down because it's broken past not 1 support but 2 support, right? And then here's just an overview of how you can really start to look at your charts. Like we can see the clear structure here, and that's what we want to start looking at. Start looking at the structure of the market, and don't focus on the little itty bitty candlesticks, because that's gonna mess you up. So when you go and look at your charts from now on, just start looking at the structure. Like what is the trend telling you? Where does it want to move to? Always, and that's another thing, trade with the trend. Whenever you're trading and looking for entries, trade with the trend. All right. Hey, look, that's gonna do it for me. Peace and love. Love y'all.